Beach FM kick-off sports breakfast show with HMC Kapiti, your local authorised Kia and Suzuki sales and service agent, and now your local AA Auto Centre. At HMC Kapiti, the journey just gets easier. Find out how easy online at hmckapiti.co.nz.
Welcome back to the Kick-Off Sports Breakfast Show on Beach FM 106.3. Let's kick off the show with our good friend from Kapiti Coast United Football Club. It is Andrew Elms, better known as Elmo. G'day, mate.
Morning. How you going, Damian?
Yeah, very well. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, good after last night's kind of announcement. So business as usual, but yeah, a shout out to my Auckland friends or whatever else. It's been there, and we don't want to be there ourselves. So keep safe, everybody.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, there are kind of business as usual. Of course, we've got to follow some procedures. So, what is set up for you guys?
We're obviously still down to 100 gathered, so our patrons at the club rooms will now kind of be in luxury and have table service. So for them, it's probably an upgrade rather than a downgrade. So but yeah, I mean, obviously. Joking aside, obviously all the sanitary side of things and the distancing regarding the players, officials, and hygiene and tracing will obviously back in play.
Absolutely, mate. So I'm guessing you guys have a code or a system that you're going to keep track of everyone with contact tracing?
We certainly do. We've got the New Zealand Football have put out the ID Me app, which is on the doors to our club rooms. Other than that, if people haven't got that downloaded, then they can obviously just sign the paper sign in. So that's all good. So we'll tick that one off. There probably won't be a great deal of food available tomorrow, obviously, because we don't want to kind of cross boundaries with that, so it might be pies in a packet, and rather than the teams noshing into fish and chips and things like that. So back to we've been there before, so at least we know what we've got the level we've got to do. Yep,
absolutely, mate. Well, let's talk about sport now. How did you guys go last week?
Well, lucky for us, actually, this week, or I say lucky, we've only got a couple of teams at home, so we haven't got the magnitudes down at Wacker that we would normally have. But given this week, it gives us a chance to kind of perfect our club rooms to accommodate visitors from other teams. So this week we've got we've only got the men's firsts and reserves at home.
Right.
And starting off this lunchtime, we've got 12:30. We've got our reserves against Island Bay. They're coming off a 2-1 loss to Upper Hutt last week. And followed by that, the main game is 2:30 is our first against Tawa, who also came off a narrow 2-1 loss to Island Bay last week. Island Bay being the top of the table. I believe the Island Bay coach said that they actually robbed the points from us. So a lot to take for our first team guys. Keeping them to such a short score like that. In the women's Prams, as alluded to last week, Vanessa Addy had a 150th game. They won 4-0 against Brooklyn Northern, and Vanessa scored all 4 goals. So prolific goal scorer and good on her, and congratulations, Vanessa. Our reserves played last week. Our women's Prams are away to Petone tomorrow, and our women's reserves also had a 4-0 win against Upper Hutt and remained top of the table, and they're away to Vic Uni. In the men's Masters, the Corinthians had a 2-2 draw against Brooklyn Northern, and they're away to North Wellington. In the HK1, the Hearts beats the Strollers 6-2, which leaves them 5 points clear at the top of the table, and they have a bye this week. The Sopranos who were in second place at the time, had a shock 3-2 loss to Pycock at home, but hats off to Pycock. I know they're a bit of a nemesis sometimes, but they give it for 90 minutes, and they always give 110%, and you're never sure of a result there. The Sopranos are away to the Strollers. In HK2, the Barbars lost 6-1 to the Coasters, and they have a bye this week. The Thirds had a great 3-2 win over Otaki, and they're away to the Hawks. And the Hearts reserves had a 3-2 loss to the Force, which are both KCU sides. I played in that game. I scored 3 goals, and I was on the losing side. So worked that one out. One goal
congratulations
my
on the
team,
hat-trick.
and two own goals. So a weekend I'd like to forget.
Fair enough then.
Yeah. I got the player of the day from the opposition, which was good, but never mind. I'll take it. Yeah. And to wrap it up, our under-17s had a top of the table tussle last week at home to Wairarapa, and they both came out 2-2. So they remain joint top, and they're away to Wainui. So not a great deal at home. The Hearts reserves and the Hearts reserves and the Force are both up at Mazengarb tomorrow at 2:30 as well. So that's the closest thing we've got from the 2 games that are on at Wacker.
Fantastic, mate. Well, thank you so much for the updates as per usual. Go well, my man. Look after yourselves, and all the best to the club.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Damian. Cheers.